What made Baby Shark by far the most viewed video on YouTube? And what musical features does it have in common with the seemingly unrelated viral sensation Gangnam Style? Baby Shark is the musical peak of virality as well as a soundtrack for preschools, daycares, and the inner rings of hell because those same infectious features that commandeer collective kid consciousness at maximum efficiency also hack our brains to the point of becoming a literal torture device. In 2023, 2 Oklahoma County jail guards were found guilty of cruelty for, among other things, forcing inmates to listen to Baby Shark. I won't torture you by playing clips of the original song. Instead, I want to discuss what makes tunes more infectious and hopefully also convince you why the Star-Spangled Banner is an absolutely terrible choice for a national anthem. There are 4 main components contributing to the maximum virality of Baby Shark. The most important feature is that it has a simple, singable, and memorable tune. In order for a tune to be singable, it needs to have a manageable range between the lowest and highest note. If you want a song that amateurs can sing along to, a good rule of thumb is to have it span an octave or less. That is why the Star-Spangled Banner is a horrible choice for communal singing as a national anthem. Its total range is an octave plus a fifth, and that range isn't just needed for one single spot. The melody constantly leaps from low notes to high notes. This melodic shape needs the range of a tenth.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
And there's even a leap of a tenth here.
Streaming, and the rocket's red glare.
Perhaps the need for a trained singer to sing the U.S. national anthem parallels a culture of rugged individualism as opposed to collective cooperation. But anyway, compare that range to the melody of Baby Shark. Its range is less than half of an octave. You only need a fourth from the lowest to the highest note. This is one way that Baby Shark is very similar to the mega hit Gangnam Style. Most of Gangnam Style is a rap that doesn't even need to be sung, but out of all the notes that are sung, everything sits within the narrow range of a fifth. But there's another similarity in addition to the singable ranges in both of these songs. Both of them seem to isolate a rhythm. By that I mean that part of each hook has no contour or lyric structure. It's just one repeated syllable, one repeated note, and a catchy rhythm. That in itself is memorable, but to really make the tune stick, they also need repetition. That repetition can involve melodic contour and rhythm, or for Baby Shark, just have an exact repetition over and over. Not only is the song a repeated phrase over and over again, the phrase itself consists of 3 shorter ideas that are repetitions. Compare that to the Star-Spangled Banner, which has a much longer phrase that repeats, and then other different melodies after that, and there isn't much motivic repetition built inside of phrases. Instead of the unsingable Star-Spangled Banner, which glorifies a violent history, a better choice would be America the Beautiful, which praises our country's natural resources and has a more singable and memorable tune. Unlike the repetitiveness of Baby Shark, which is the same melody over and over again, America the Beautiful balances repetition and variety by including variations of its primary motive. Baby Shark was not composed for nuanced development though. It was composed to be catchy and really easy to learn, and it achieved its goal by foregoing motivic variation and aiming instead for exact repetition. It is the same melody over and over. The second element of our formula is to have a dance. The dance is a key part of Baby Shark's success because it makes the song a multimodal experience. Dancing involves physical embodiment. Seeing other people dance is a visual stimulus, and dancing together with other people makes it a communal experience. The dance itself isn't simply a repeated set of moves over and over again like the melody was. The dance has a pattern that changes with each verse and reinforces the lyrical content. The small hands correspond to the Baby Shark, And if you go with the anthropomorphic assumption that grandma sharks don't have teeth, that hand motion also makes a bit of sense. I think dances might have a lot more influence on making songs popular than you might think. And if you think having a dance to go with a song is just a viral feature for children, consider the song Watch Me Whip Nene from 2014, which owes a lot of its success to the digital media company Dance On, which paid content creators to do instructional content teaching people the dance. And this brings me to another important similarity between Baby Shark and Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style has an iconic horse riding dance to go along with it. The third part of the formula for maxing out musical infectiousness is key to making music appeal to children. It is to have an element of lyrical narrativity. Baby Shark's lyrics are easy to learn because there aren't many of them, and they also follow a pattern. We're going through a family of sharks and then just say do a lot after that. There's even a simple narrative structure. We have an exposition of characters followed by the action, let's go hunt, and the plot twist and tension of run away, followed by the resolution of safe at last. There's even an element of foreshadowing. If you hear the intro and recognize the reference to John Williams' score to Jaws, though I assume that reference may have been lost on its preschool audience. The fourth point in my formula is going to be a little bit more technical. It is a looping structure, whose cyclical propulsion can be explained from the perspective of Schenkerian analysis for the way its melody avoids a prominent sounded or linear descent and hence lacks a clear endpoint. Let me break that down a little bit. In the early 1900s, the Austrian music theorist Heinrich Schenker had ideas about the norms of his favorite Austro-German tonal music, which he used to justify Eurocentrism. His main idea was that well-behaving tonal melodies have an overall motion descending toward the tonic. Schenker couched this idea in value judgments about how in order for music to be good, it needed to descend, but there's another less judgy takeaway. If melodies come to rest by descending to tonic, you could make a melody that does not come to rest by avoiding a descent to tonic. That's what happens in a song remarkably similar to Baby Shark, the Hokey Pokey. It ascends toward the melodic goal of tonic. Notice that the Hokey Pokey has not only upward motion toward tonic, it is also full of exact repetition, has the small range of a fourth for singers, and there's even a dance element that goes along with it. But Baby Shark has way more loopiness, because not only does it ascend toward tonic, it does not come to rest on the tonic. Each phrase ends on the leading tone, and in order for the tonal resolution back to tonic, you have to start the next phrase. The Baby Shark melody is so extraordinarily cyclical, they actually needed a verse of singing "It's the End" over and over again to try to arrest the relentless motion of this family of marine predators. Hopefully by going through this song, you have a better sense of what makes music infectious. And if you don't want to compose a cruel and unusual punishment, I recommend not going full send with Pinkfong's entire formula I've gone through. And also, if we could make the US national anthem switch to America the Beautiful, that'd be great.